No one in the stadium understood why the bright-eyed rookie from the Giants froze that night, why his breath caught in his chest the moment the camera swung toward him. But hours later, when the interview aired, the world realized something extraordinary had happened, something Izumizuki never meant to reveal. He didn't plan to say it. He didn't plan to expose the secret that had lived like a shadow behind his family name. He didn't plan to let the world hear the truth that slipped from his mouth like an accident. But destiny doesn't wait for permission. The story begins long before that interview. Long before the cheers, the cameras, the blinding stadium lights. It begins in the quiet of a home where a boy grew up without truly knowing what his father did. A home where weekends were strangely calm, where mornings felt too peaceful for a man who supposedly had an ordinary job. Izumizuki was a child who noticed things. He noticed how his father's shoes were worn down only at the edges, never at the toes. He noticed how he never complained after work, never groaned, never limped. He noticed how he always smelled faintly of chalk and leather, not the scent of any ordinary profession. But whenever he asked, the answer was always the same, a gentle smile, a soft shrug, and vague words that dissolved into nothing. Don't worry about it. Just focus on your dreams. And so he did. He chased baseball the way some people chase miracles, with fire in his chest and discipline carved into his bones. He practiced on cold mornings, when his breath fogged the air and his hands stung with every swing. He practiced at night, when the street lamps blurred into halos around him, guiding every motion. He didn't know that someone else was watching from the shadows, quietly, silently, religiously. His father attended every practice without being noticed. Every error, every sprint, every bruise, every triumph. He watched like a guardian who knew something his son didn't. Years passed. His talent grew. Scouts whispered his name. Coaches praised his timing, his instincts, his ability to read plays before they unfolded. Some said he had unnatural awareness. Others said he was born for this. But Izumizuki always felt there was something missing, some part of his life that was hidden behind a locked door he wasn't allowed to open. The truth revealed itself on a night when the Giants were trailing by 1 run, the stadium roaring with tension. Izumizuki, still a rookie, stepped into the batter's box. Adrenaline pounded in his ears like war drums. The pitcher glared. The crowd held its breath. And then, the swing. A perfect, impossible, storybook swing. The crack of the bat exploded through the air. The ball soared into the night sky like a burning comet. For a moment, time seemed to hold still. Even Izumizuki didn't know what he had just done. A walk-off home run. A stadium eruption. A rookie becoming a hero in a single heartbeat. Cameras chased him. Fans shouted his name. Teammates grabbed him, lifting him like a king. Reporters surged in. Questions poured like rain. But it was one reporter, one casual, almost joking question, that unlocked the truth. Your father must be proud. What does he do, by the way? We never see him around. Izumizuki laughed. He wasn't thinking. His guard was down. The adrenaline was still burning in his veins. He answered without hesitation, without filter, without realizing he was revealing something no one was supposed to know. He actually gets 3-day weekends all the time. The reporter blinked. 3-day weekends. Every week. Yeah, Izumizuki said lightly. He's always off on Fridays. He said it's the perk of the job. The air around the interviewer shifted. A subtle silence slipped into the cracks of the moment. 3-day weekends. Every week. People listening knew what that meant. Not just anyone gets that schedule. Not in Japan. Not consistently. Unless their profession is unusual. But Izumizuki still didn't realize what he had exposed. The clip went viral within hours. Fans speculated. Analysts debated. Theories flooded social media. Some said his father must be in law enforcement. Others whispered he might be military intelligence. A few insisted he was working in a job connected to national security, the kind that doesn't allow explanations. The mystery ignited like wildfire. But behind all the noise, the truth was far more human, and far more emotional. When Izumizuki returned home that night, he found his father sitting at the table, a soft smile on his face, watching the interview replay on a small screen. Not angry, not shocked, just proud. You didn't have to hide it for me, Izumizuki said quietly. I didn't hide anything, his father replied. I just didn't want my work to overshadow your dreams. Izumizuki sat across from him, the weight of the world lifting from his shoulders. For years, he had felt a distance, a wall he couldn't name. But now he understood. His father wasn't being mysterious to keep secrets from him. He was protecting him from carrying a burden that wasn't his. You're the one who did everything, his father said softly. Your success, that's yours alone. Outside, the world was still buzzing with speculation. But inside that quiet home, something far more important was happening. A father and son sat together for the first time without shadows between them. Izumaguchi realized that some truths aren't meant for headlines. Some stories aren't meant for the public. Some mysteries belong only to the hearts that live them. But one thing was certain. His father's greatest pride wasn't his job. It wasn't the schedule. It wasn't the secrecy. It was him. The boy who became a hero. The boy who never gave up. The boy who hit a home run that would be remembered forever, not because of what he revealed afterward, but because of who he had always been becoming. That night, as he looked at his father, Izumaguchi finally understood the real meaning of legacy. Not the job, not the mystery, but the love, the sacrifice, and the silent guidance that shaped him. And when he closed his eyes before sleep, he didn't think about the interview or the speculation or the viral headlines. He thought about something far deeper. My father got 3-day weekends, so I could have a future. A truth so simple, yet powerful enough to define the rest of his life.